to another video. It's a long time going, I know. So, update. It's about probably over a month now since I've done a video. The main reason for that has been the weather, because the last 3 weeks have been so cold and so wet. And obviously being in the UK, we get the really short, dark evenings. So when I finish work, it's been pitch black. We've had horrendous weather. Today's the first day where it's actually quite mild, even though it's very windy. So as everything's filmed in here, things have really gone on the wayside. I was also a couple of weeks out of the running because there's a pipe that runs up the side there for the water tap outside, which, despite being insulated, decided one of the plastic couplers split. So I woke up, got up one morning and came in, and the whole place was flooded. Touch wood, nothing has been damaged, but the clean-up took forever because I had to pull all this lino floor up, and it was trying to spot a day where I could physically lift it up and take it outside to dry, because otherwise the concrete wasn't drying out. It has eventually done so, and nothing's damaged, it's all back in place, but been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. So onwards and upwards. So bit of an update really. So I've had a lot of requests. In the meantime, I've moved bedrooms in the house from a small one to a big one, fully redecorated it, and I've finally got my Hunter original ceiling fan up, which I got 4 years ago, and it's never been installed, before then, because the room I was in, the design of the roof wouldn't allow the size of the fan. The new room is a lot bigger, and the fan is still quite big, but it works perfectly fine in there. So I shall feature you onto this. So here's the original. I've done this because quite a few people have requested videos now. So she's finally mounted in my new bedroom, and it's the 506 81 model. So 52-inch. Now, for all the purists out there, it is a Chinese built one, unfortunately. Living in the UK, trying to get hold of an original is really hard at the best of times. I was lucky to get this one through a company called Henley Fans, who's based down south, and they're pretty much the only dealer of Hunter fans in the UK. And managed to get this one on offer. It came with the white blades, which I've got, because it's actually an outdoor model, so it's got the white plastic or fibre blades as well. I got these from a parts place in Florida that specialises in fan parts. So these are the teak, I think the teak or maple, I'm not too sure, but I got the set of those sent over from Florida, which wasn't cheap, but they are really nice, and I think the wood looks nice with the white housing. The globe has been a big issue. That's not a Hunter fitter, that's off, I think it's an Encom, because trying to get parts for these over here is pretty much non-existent, unfortunately. Excuse me. So typical original nose switch cap, or electronics in there, and these are what they call the oil bath motor. So on top there is a little port to fill with oil, and this is basically a cup of oil, and on the motor shaft it has a spiraled groove, so as the fan rotates it actually pumps oil from the little bath here up into the bearings in the middle of the rotor. So this is why they last so long, because they oil themselves. Also, it's made of cast iron, very heavy. This thing weighs about 40 kgs. So I had to make sure I went up in the attic, located the joist that runs directly above the cap there, and then it's got 4 screws that hold the metal U-shaped bolt. Pop a photo down there to make sure it's strong. So, and it's free to move, it's on the rubber mount, so it's got some flexibility, but really classy fan. So going back to the light fitting, that's off an Encon, and I've had to spray it white because it was brass. The globe I got off eBay because I had a small dedicated fan globe which had the bolts that screwed in there to hold that on, but this one doesn't have any ridge on it. It's literally a finished sort of opening. So I've ended up buying a metal spring off eBay. I did quite a lot of research, and I found a spring that actually hold it in place. So it's just literally resting on the three-legged spring. It works, and to me the large globe is so much more in proportion. I'll stick a photo of what it looked like before, and then I just think it looks a lot better. And the round globe is a classic original look. Because it's above the bed, it doesn't matter that it's quite low, because that's at my head height, so it's quite low, but it works well. So when you turn the light on, looks really good. It's quite a lot of wobble in there, but it's quite flexible. And then start up on fast. There's a bit of hum through the glass. That's coming from the globe. Now, from what I can tell, it's not as powerful or fast as the American-made originals. I assume the motor is less than 100-watt motor, so I assume it's not as powerful, but it moves a huge amount of air. You can see all the plants going. So, I mean, the pitch on the blades is insane. And that really does set up a nice breeze. See, it's blowing everything around. But to me, that is just the classic ceiling fan. I've always loved them from when I lived in America as a kid. And the chance to have one is just fantastic. I've never seen another one here in the UK. I know they are available, but they just don't exist really. So that's down onto second. I mean, it's quite slow revving, but it does move a lot better. In this room, it's fine. I don't need it to be more powerful than it is. I quite like the 5-blade setup as well, because you can have either 4 or 5 blades, and I do like the classic look of the 4. But there's just something about the 5 that looks really nice. And on low, really quiet. So I often have this on low overnight, even sort of in the winter, because it helps spread the heat around from the radiator. That's just a standard factory low, which is quite slow. I mean, I could get a speed control for it. But no, I'm really pleased to have it, and I think it looks great in this room. It's quite big for this room, but it looks good. Just gotta love the design of them. I don't know if anyone knows why there's a circular hole on the vent plate. I'm not sure. A mystery which I don't know, but yeah, so there she is. She's up and about. Been sat in the cupboard ever since I've had her, and I finally managed to get in operation. That's great. So not too long of a video, and I shall start doing more reviews in the next week or so. Got quite a lot to catch up on, got a few more finds, and obviously the fans to go through that are already in the loft and the container. So we should get around to those. So if there's any comments or queries, do drop them down below. Like the video if you like it, and if you haven't subscribed, do so, because it helps apparently. I shall see you in the next video.